Hey, Sandra, welcome to the show.
Nice to be on again, Joy. We've been having a lot of fun with this, trying to awaken women to the feminine behaviors of courage that they can apply at work.
Fun and good information and inspiration. So share something with us for all of our people who have tuned in.
Well, I've been trying to say with a consistent format of a building block on what are the behaviors of courage and the obstacles to them. So this week, we have on Speaking Up. And it's interesting to me that people at work witness what we stand for, and that straight, unambiguous talk always gets their attention. It's amazing to me. When I hear somebody speaking straight talk without any ambiguity, I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. And I wonder, well, why am I in this wow? And I reflected on that, and it's because this type of candor is uncomfortable for most of us. Most people are stunned when they hear real candor. And what I've discovered in 13 years of research is that candor is a cousin to courage. So speaking with courage means learning to speak with your own voice, to express the truth that flows from your own heart and spirit. And remember that the etymology of the word courage means heart and spirit. It's medieval Old French courage, meaning heart and spirit. So this is the opposite of feeling ridicule or being ostracized. So only by learning to express ourselves from our own courageous identities can we begin to employ the courage action that moves us beyond this week's obstacle. And this week's obstacle is ambiguity. And what would be the courage action? Confront an uncomfortable truth. That's what overcomes ambiguity. So instead of agreeing to things that we don't want to do, we simply need to come from a place of choice and express our points of view without ambiguity. So many times I hear someone say, well, I just didn't have the energy for that, or I just didn't want to do that. And I say, what about reframing that to say, I chose not to do this, or I choose to do this. It's a very different kind of a linguistics learns how to integrate what I call where courage meets grace. So there are two questions for the listeners this week to ponder. The first one is, what keeps you from having the courage to converse directly? And the second is, will you choose to declare your intent to speak your voice? So just to kind of summarize, ambiguity is this week's obstacle. And the courage action to overcome this obstacle is confront an uncomfortable truth. Look at what you're withholding right now. Because otherwise, protecting your voice, swallowing your voice, keeps you in stuck thinking. It's like painting or editing a book. Centering in your courage is not an exact science. The business environment changes continually. And we see that with courageous leaders. They know how to go with the flow. So recall the last time you directly confronted someone at work with an uncomfortable but consequential truth that you had been avoiding. And then remember this week's productivity quote by Lily Tomlin. And Lily Tomlin said, if you can't be direct, why be?
Wonderful. Good advice. And what I always say is words have power. They have all the power that you need to create wealth in your life. And you have seconded and thirded that, and we appreciate that helpful content. Thank you, Sandra Walston.